What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing at the Polderbaan for arrivals today. It is Saturday, October 5th, 2024. And it is another beautiful day. KVK, as you guys can see in the meter in the ticker. 2 knots of wind from 140, 10 degrees C. It's basically the same as yesterday, hardly any wind, even though on the scale of chimney smoke it does seem to be a bit more windy today. Over here we're not feeling it. You can see hardly any movement. Now, first airplane coming in, KLM flight 1570, Boeing 737-800, arriving from Porto in Portugal. The airplane is 5 years old, first flight March 2019. Good morning everybody. Bart also back in the chat, morgen. Bart was just done filming and was walking back as I was walking up here, so reason for me being a little bit later. Is that he and I were catching up a little bit. Beautiful day, as you guys can see. Already some people over here. And if all is well, JD is also coming today. Jörg announced yesterday he was coming. I emailed him to check and he said everything was go to come to Schiphol today. Now, also a massive big thank you to Scott, who already gifted a membership just now. See that Maxime was the recipient of the gifted membership. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Maxime. Don't forget to say thank you to Scott and don't forget to use those custom emojis that now are at your disposal for an entire month. Scott, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Once again, welcome Maxime. Hey there Frank, good morning. Goedemorgen Michel. Dirk Wink, goedemorgen. Marja, goedemorgen. This is Croatia Airlines in their new Bombardier C-Series 300, arriving from Zagreb, flight 450. Brand new airplane. First flight of this airplane was in July 2024, so it is brand spanking new. And I have to say I like it way better than the A320. Don't know what you guys think of it. For me personally, the A320 together with the A350 is the most pretty modern day airplanes. You can see that this airplane began its life as a Bombardier, and you can see that Bombardier has a lot of experience making bizjets. It is looking like an oversized bizjet. It's also the first butt shot of the day. And we can see through those see-through engines beautifully with the low sunshine over here. Now, what the fudge, Jerry? Jerome is coming in with a bang, no less than 10 memberships just now. Holy fucking shit. Where is that message? There it is. Jerome, thank you so much. That is really above and beyond. 10 gifted memberships already so early in the stream. I hope that all the recipients will say thank you for it. Welcome new members. Enjoy your membership and the custom emojis. Don't forget to say thank you to Jerry. Jerry, that is above and beyond, mate. Thank you so much for that. Truly amazing. And here we have our first EasyJet of the day. It is returning to Amsterdam from Gatwick, London Gatwick. Meanwhile, good morning, Siegfried, the aviation nerd, Thomas, Andre, Nico, Marianne, Jimmy Pirate, Lois, Jos. Morning one and all. Mrs. Professor, good morning. Good to see you. Hope all is well with everybody. Happy Saturday to all. Beautiful sunny day. It's KVK. Now, is there a cloud in the sky? Looking around. I don't see any in immediate vicinity. Also no higher clouds. There is a contrail over there. Yeah. I'm sure I saw one. Already further to the east, no details visible. Next coming in is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Berlin. KLM flight 1772. And after that, the first heavy of the show, United Airlines flight 968 returning from San Francisco. Hey there Richard, goedemorgen. Tom, goedemorgen. Stranger, good morning. Ziffy, good morning. Frank asks if I have my ground crew with me, and the answer is unfortunately no. I'm standing here all alone. JD is coming. Or at least yesterday he said he was going to come. Now, Maria might come because she knows that JD wants to meet her, so she said she'd look and see if she could make it over. Lisa was supposed to be going back to Belgium today, but that did not go through. She is now lying sick at home with a fever. So she first has to get well before being able to go back to Belgium. Andre asks, is it possible to see a rare Embraer today? Well, if you don't blink, maybe. Beautiful day indeed, Eric. Scott asks, any 747s today? And the answer is sadly no. I didn't see one scheduled. There was one from KLM that landed earlier in the morning. That was too early for me. I wasn't able to film it, unfortunately. And I did not see any other underway. I did see that the Orange Pride was coming in. I think it was expected around noon and is expected to arrive from the west. So regardless of one or two runways in use, it is a likely candidate to land on Polderbaan. Good morning, Swissport worker. Good morning, Georgios. Salut, Jean-Yves. Good to see you. Next up, KLM flight 644, 78710, arriving from New York, JFK. 6 hours and 17 minutes on the way thus far. PH BKL, it is 2 years old, first flight June 2022. Good morning, Ed. Good morning, Matteo. Now, the first Lufty CRJ is expected after this airplane has landed. Not able to see it already. It is on visible flight radar, but doesn't seem to be having its landing lights on already. Yo, Alan. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Indeed, Alan, I will have to put on a nurse's uniform later to keep the Queen in good spirits. Yeah, get her up on her feet again as soon as possible. Now, she had a fever this morning, so was already feeling a bit under the weather yesterday, and unfortunately last night's sleep did not improve it. CRJ in the foreground and Delta Airlines flight 178 arriving from PDX in the background. Arriving from Portland, Oregon, Jerry's hometown. Still with the gear up. In the foreground, Lufty flight 2302 arriving from Munich. Good morning Bas. And good morning MVI Pro. Good morning Stacy. Happy Saturday. Frits, goedemorgen. Herzlich willkommen. Adi, goedemorgen. Purple Blocks, good morning. Aviation Edits, good morning. Camille, salut mon ami. Good to have you both, you and Jean-Yves, back in the chat on a regular basis. Louis, good morning. Elwa, goedemorgen. The Yorkshire Traveller, good morning. PDX. Jerry says, I would also have a fever if I had to go back to Belgium. They do have great beers and lots and lots of castles over there, Jerry. Absolutely worthwhile visiting. CRJ buttshot in the making. Little overshooting. Right, Jerry calls it PDX wheelie. Let's see. Next to land is Delta Airlines flight 178 arriving from Portland, Oregon. PDX A330-300. 9 hours and 33 minutes underway to get here. 17 years old. First flight April 2007. It's the November 817 November whiskey. Hadi Lane, goedemorgen. Moonjumper, good morning. Modest wheelie. Also relatively modest use of the reversers, but at least reversers. Hey there the cat, good morning. Wow. Very modest all. Something you'd expect from the next airplane. Hailing from Canada, also modest and friendly. Air Canada flight 900 arriving from Montreal. And an airplane behind it already visible by the lights. Small Embraer 190 arriving from London City. In the foreground, Air Canada flight 900, 7879 Dreamliner. 7-year-old airplane. Flight time 6 hours precisely. First flight January 2017. Hey Joop, goedemorgen. Guten Morgen, Pippen 94-92. A little glide slope shot indeed there, Jerry. Also, outbound traffic passing by in a moment overhead. RDW, goedemorgen. And all others who've joined in the meantime, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at Polderbaan, which is being used for arrivals as the primary runway at the moment. 18 right. A little bit of wind. The windmills in the background are spinning a little bit. Modesty seems to be the recurring theme this morning. Goedemorgen Blackburst. Redison Kai, goedemorgen. Long time no speak. Or at least that's what it feels like. Good to have you back. Hope all is well. Looking up and around me, just one contrail moving away. Nothing in the immediate vicinity otherwise. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this. quick big picture overview. The wind currently is blowing from the south-southeast with just a handful of knots, 2 knots, which results in current runway use. We are standing over here. Let's do a refresh. Right, 0624 has also opened up. In terms of airplanes of interest, the orange price is expected 1218. The A380 is expected 103. If it catches up a few more minutes, we might get to see it on Polderbound, but I'm not getting my hopes up too high. And this airplane is expected for the late afternoon, so out of the scope of today's stream. And departures now also from runway 24, so let's add that to the ticker just to be complete. Let's turn around towards the glide slope. We have several airplanes that are coming in right now. The next airplane to arrive is KLM flight 980. Number 190 arriving from London City. 15-year-old airplane, first flight July 2009. Jerry farts 2 knots of wind. That's easy. Rookie numbers. Little wheelie there. Not a Captain Wheelie length wheelie, but definitely a little wheelie. It was looking nice. Not enough to get in the Hall of Fame though. Nice little butt shot. Hadi Edwin, goedemorgen, and all others who have joined us in the meantime, good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Let's turn around. Next airplane coming in is a 737, and in the background we see something big that is approaching the glide slope. That would be, zooming out, that's a Chinese triple arriving from Shanghai. This, however, is KLM flight 1402 first, arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle, a 737-800 with no Wi-Fi on board by the looks of it. Now, when I emailed JD yesterday, he told me he was expecting to arrive around 10:30 to 11, so I'm constantly looking in that direction to see if I can spot a familiar face coming this way. JD is coming. If all is well, I did not receive additional emails where he said he had to cancel, so should be good. See that Wolfgang is also back in the chat. Good morning, Wolfgang. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Jörg is on their way. Expected to arrive, at least that's what he emailed me yesterday, between 10:30 and 11. BA next to approach is arriving from London Heathrow. It's an A319. A short visit by Wolfgang. Now, you also had a birthday you mentioned earlier, so I'm assuming that might be today then. Hadi Joko, goedemorgen. Now, if you have been enjoying the stream so far, don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Really helps to spread this content to more aviation enthusiasts such as yourselves, who might also be interested in streams like these. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It's not mandatory, but it's always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are a lot of viewers watching. They're all friendly, and a lot of them are knowledgeable. And Jerry asks, Paris to Amsterdam, 90 minutes. Well, up and down. The flight time normally averages around 40 to 45 minutes, similar to Amsterdam, London. And Amsterdam, Berlin too, I think. Or was that an hour? Stranger says BA Concorde is landing. Is that the name of this airplane? Did not know that. Hadi Thijs, goedemorgen. Happy Saturday. Bonjour Pierre. Good morning. Hey Carback Paradise, good morning. Chinese triple coming in soon. First, I'm arriving from London Heathrow, KLM flight 1002. Another 737-800, the PHBXL, 24 years old. First flight September 2000. The elevators trimmed more horizontally than, for instance, with the A330. Next A330 that is landing, I will show you the orientation of the elevators. You will see that the front is angled much lower, or at least the entire surface. Next up, a Chinese triple arriving from Shanghai. It is Air China Cargo flight 1033. 777 freighter, 10 years old, first flight March 2014, and its flight time is 11 hours and 13 minutes. Marja will visit later when her taxi is ready. Looking forward to it, Marja. And I'm sure Jörg will too. Do see some lights behind this triple. They're further away because it is a narrow body that is next to land after this airplane has landed. Lufthansa flight 988 and A320 arriving from Frankfurt. And after that another triple, 777-200 arriving from Houston. United coming in. Oh man, deafness achieved. Wolfgang asks if Lisa is in company today. Well, no, she wasn't going to be anyway, but that was because she was going to go back to Belgium today. However, that has been postponed since she is now laying in bed with a fever, unfortunately, a bit fluish. So she first needs to recover and then she's going to go back to Belgium. So she wasn't going to be here anyway, but the reason why she isn't here has changed, unfortunately. Buenos dias, Alvaro. Alvaro, I should say. Hadi Nard, goeiedag. Flying with Timster, good day to you, sir. Hello, one and all. This is Lufthansa flight 988, an A320 arriving from Frankfurt. 11 years old, first flight March 2013. I will tell her all the best, Wolfgang. Thank you. Let's quickly turn back. United Airlines flight 20 arriving from Houston in Texas, 777-200 And another airplane behind it, that's the A321 Neo arriving from Athens. Haven't seen the firefighters yet. I'm not sure if they already visited here earlier in the morning, if they did their round early. The station was closed when I passed by, but the fire engines, or at least two of them, are out there. Not sure if they're going to do a round or if they already did a round. Ha Ari, goedemorgen. Hey there Jazz, good morning. Good to have you all back. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. You're watching AMS Live and my name is Boy. We're standing here at Polderbaan, which is now the only runway for arrivals. Later today, parallel arrivals expected. It is K weather. Lovely, lovely weather, just like yesterday. Lots of sunshine, hardly any wind. Bit more wind than we had yesterday, truth be told, but still nothing substantial. Aegean A321 Neo arriving from Athens, flight 3624. This airplane is 2 years old, first flight July 2022. Cat asks when my birthday is. That's August 14th. Peter, goedemorgen, good morning. And QJ says that the banana from Luton has been assigned to Polder. That is good news. I think Polder is going to stay open for arrivals, the only runway until 11, and then between 11 and 11:40 parallel arrivals expected. Then once again from 11:40 until 1 p.m. local time, just a Polderbaan. Then between 1 and 2 parallel arrivals. Chris and Curtis good over there, nibbling on breakfast, high fibrous diet, and also doing some morning cardio. An example to us all. This is KLM flight 1930, E2 Embraer 195, arriving from Geneva. Air Baltic A220 is approaching, flying overhead, outbound. Wolfgang asks if I'm planning to go out again tomorrow, and depending on the weather, but the answer is most likely yes. I think the weather is going to be good for tomorrow, so the answer is yes, likely. The wind isn't expected to change, so probably more of the same as today, tomorrow. Also a little contrail. There it is. That is the only contrail in the immediate vicinity by the looks of it. Visibility of contrails yesterday was a bit better than it has been thus far today. A321 Neo KLM flight 1268 is approaching. Flight time 53 minutes. It is the PHAXA. It is the first A321 Neo. Third airplane is turning in. The second airplane above it on the glide slope. Hey there Josephine. Good morning. And Peter's wedding day is also on my birthday. Nice. And goedemorgen. Good morning T-Mac. Good to see you again. It's the first A321 Neo of KLM operating a normal flight between Copenhagen and Amsterdam. Flight time 54 minutes. Brand new airplane. Duh. The airplane behind it was or is going to be the A319 from EasyJet, arriving from Prague. And the third airplane, which apparently overshot the glide slope a little bit, JetBlue, arriving from Boston, which we saw turn in from the east. So got their vectors a bit late by ATC then. And a nice butt shot to boot. Bom dia Rui, who is tuning in from Portugal. And good morning all others who have joined. Welcome to the show. Happy Saturday to you all. Hope you're doing well. Sunny day over here at Schiphol Airport. Not extremely warm, but definitely not cold. The lack of wind makes it very comfortable here to be standing here. Hey there Vinny TV Adventures. Long time no see. Jinshin, aloha mate, good to have you. Hope all is well. Just slight ripples in the water. The wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this. No substantial wind. Next up, on the glide slope, EasyJet in the foreground, A319 arriving from Prague. Behind it, JetBlue arriving from Boston, A321 Neo. Turning in behind it is an ITA A321 Beautiful. Arriving from Milan. And the banana, 2 airplanes after that. Beautiful 3 airplane glide slope shot. Take in that glide slope shot, folks. Bottoms up. Hey Martin R, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. EasyJet A319 arrival from Prague, now touching down on Polderbaan. Still checking if maybe Jörg is already coming. Not seeing him just yet. The Marechaussee, the military police, is coming. Hey, somebody on the scooter is coming. No, that's not an AMS Live hat. Wouldn't that be something if Jörg was to come on one of those steps? Mopeds. No? What do you call them in English? Anyway. Hey there, bear with me. Good morning. Ronaldo from Alice Springs, tuning in from the center of Australia. Good evening, mate. Welcome. Hey there, Guy, who is tuning in from Luxembourg. Good morning. Hope all is well. JetBlue A321 Neo, flight 631, having arrived from Boston, Massachusetts, now landing. 1-year-old airplane. Its first flight in February 2023. Name of the plane, let's have a look. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmint. Alright, whoever that may have been, or is, or be, maybe. Scooters. Scooters. Mikey, thank you so much. Hey there, Lex bro, who is tuning in from Melbourne. Also tuning in from down under, good morning. Well, good morning here, good evening for you. Nicolette, goedemorgen. Mind your step, indeed, QJ. Hey, first airplane to the center runway approaching. It is almost 11 o'clock. They're a bit early. And Bro 175. Yeah, there it is. So parallel arrivals have begun and are expected to continue for approximately 40 minutes on paper. This is ITA Airways, flight 120, arriving from Milan. It is a Bombardier C-Series 100, or A220 as they're called these days. EIHLC. No ho today. Brand new airplane. First flight February 2024. One of my favorite aircraft and one of my favorite liveries in sunny weather. So good looking. Pasta plane. Papi de poopie, pipi de papi de poopie. Hey there, Oscar, who is tuning in from Thailand. Good evening or good afternoon. Hey Sip, goedemorgen. Thanks for the kind words. Me myself, good morning. Me myself says John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt is a traditional children's song from the US and Canada. Ah. Did not recognize the reference. Now where did I see? Obviously the Mother Ducker, Gary Grebe. He is here. Now underwater though. Alrighty. Banana time. Or ketchup and mustard if you will. DHL A300-600. The first of probably two. Arriving from London Luton, so look away if you are Luton intolerant, because this will give you the cramps. Flight time 38 minutes and 190 nautical miles. It has traveled from Luton to Amsterdam thus far. The airplane is 30 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in February 1994. I was still a few more months in elementary school before going to middle school / high school, which I did. I think I went there in September 1994. What were you doing back then? Me, elementary school last year. Now, sadly, coinciding with the landing of the Banana, the second ITA, unfortunately going to the wrong runway. Regular A320, or A320 Neo I should say, but not an A220 at least. Bear with me, is now hungry with all those bananas. Hot dog with mustard and ketchup. Whatever you would like to call it, DHL is bringing it. Howdy Patrick, goedemorgen. Nice little butt shot. And Thomas says currywurst. Now I'm starting to get hungry as well. All that talk about food. A little butt shot of the A300. Beautiful. Time to celebrate with a swig of vodka. Let's quickly turn back. Next up, Delta Airlines flight 162, arrival from Minneapolis, Minnesota. A330-300. Flight time 7 hours and 40 minutes. First flight was in February 1994, stranger. The A300. Flight time of the Delta Airlines in the foreground is 7 hours and 40 minutes, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 19 years old, first flight July 2005. Yoka asks if we are going to see Queens today. Nope. We are not. Was surprised to see there's only one underway. Expected around 5 p.m. In the background, EasyJet arriving from Geneva. respectable distance because the wake turbulence of the preceding A330 first has to dissipate sufficiently. And car passing by in the foreground shortly. Authority, I think. Just to show you, the angle of the elevator trimmed much more downward than with the 737s that we saw earlier. ETA Maria about 11:45. Cool, thanks for the heads up. Hey there Sheila, good morning. The Yorkshire Traveller says A300 gotta be my favorite jet. What's yours, boy? I think the timeless classic is the 747-400. For me, that would be the most beautiful airplane. Concorde is also, of course, very nice. Saw it once in real life when probably the Air France was visiting the Netherlands. Chris and Curtis Good over there. Just once that I actually saw it and heard it pass overhead. Loud mother fudger it was. Right, we are not going to be disappointed when it comes to our dose of Bombardier C-Series or A220s. The second airplane that you see in the top left is Air France, arriving from Paris, flight 1444, and that is a Bombardier C-Series 300, A220-300. This is an EasyJet A320 Neo. The sound you're hearing is an Embraer 190 arriving from going to Hamburg, passing overhead outbound traffic. Ooh, nice. Wolfgang saw it take off at Linz with full afterburners. That was loud, yeah. Even without the afterburners, it was a very loud airplane. I can imagine with the afterburners on already. Hey there Rob, goedemorgen. Ahmad, good morning. And me myself says, watching for 15 minutes now, no Embraer yet, stunning. Yeah, it is. Don't jinx it. Before you know it, we'll be stuck with hundreds of them. Alan is tuning in from Northeast office. Good morning, nice camera work. Thank you for your kind words, mate. Evan also back in the chat. Good morning, top of the morning, sir. Hope all is well. And that's a very interesting question, Evan asks. But do the EasyJets really take it easy? Maybe if Big Jet TV Jerry is shouting at them to take it easy. Not sure if they will otherwise. They're quite busy bees actually. Now, already knowing what the A350 in Finnair livery looks like, I imagine that if Finnair were to order these airplanes, they would also be stunning with that minimalistic, mostly white livery. Now, big picture wise, still cavalcade. You can see the sun is shining and there are next to no clouds. Maybe a little contrail remnant over there, a bit vague. A bit further out towards the sea, it looks a bit more murky. We're under Clearly under the influence of high pressure over here right now. And for the time being, no airplanes to the Polderbaan. Means we'll have to make do with what is going to fly to the center runway. Jörg, already in Amsterdam, morning. So Jörg, good morning. And I'm afraid you're right, Wolfgang. I'm already looking around to see if Jörg is approaching. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Happy Saturday to all. If you just joined us, welcome to the show. You are watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are standing along the Polderbaan, which is now one of two runways in use for arrivals, even though for the time being traffic is going to center. The Polderbaan is the primary runway for arrivals. Now parallel arrivals in progress for approximately 40 minutes. They began a bit earlier, but normally speaking the time slot would be from around 11 o'clock until 11:40. After that, between 11:40 and 1 o'clock, all inbound traffic should be going exclusively to Polderbaan once more. Hey Peppy Pittel! Servus! Long time no see. Hope all is well still there in Innsbruck. Good to see you again, mate. Now, next up, Embraer 175 arriving from Stuttgart, going to center. There it is. And the next airplane to Polderbaan is turning in. Almost established on the glide slope. It is an EasyJet A320 arriving from Chester. Wolfgang asks if I planned my winter trip yet, and as it happens I was looking into that the other day and it has become extremely expensive, and all the good hotels that I went to in previous years seem to be already fully booked or only have vacancies in very, very, very expensive weeks. So I'm not even sure that I am going to go this year. I haven't booked anything yet. I'm a bit pessimistic about my chances of still being able to find something interesting that is still somewhat decently affordable. It is already extremely expensive, particularly if you go on your own. Also limits the number of hotels that you can stay in. So I'm not even sure I'm going to go this year. Shocker. Marissa says that the banana from Madrid is also confirmed for Polderbaan. That is nice to hear, particularly since we still have two runways open for arrivals. Howdy Henk, goedemorgen. EasyJet next to arrive, flight 22163 arriving from Chester. It's an A320, flight time 47 minutes. The Guess WR. First flight of this airplane was in February 2014, making it 10 years old. Now, there is another airplane on the glide slope already. That would be a certain red airplane. Already visible at the 7 o'clock in the bottom third on the left hand side. Evan asks if Lisa likes winter sports, and the answer is sadly no. So she is no good to me when it comes to winter sports.
Kijk nou, die meneer heeft wel een heel mooie installatie om
Stranger asked, when was the last time you went to the polderbaan without any streaming equipment just to spot yourself? Pooh, good question. I don't think I've done that since I began the channel. I'm always at Schiphol to do streams, and when I'm not, then I'm also not at Schiphol, because I also have a busy life and lots of other stuff that I need to do or want to do. I'm not sure if I would even still like spotting without my camera with me, because the camera enables me to zoom in so far and see so much more detail than what you can just see with the bare eye. In that sense, I have gotten a little spoiled. Now, more folk on the way, coming and going. It's a nice day, probably one of the last sunny days before massive rain is approaching. I believe somewhere next week. The weather forecast, the 14-day weather forecast for the Netherlands was dreadful. I think after today, yeah, initially the weather was already going to deteriorate tomorrow. Now the latest forecasts for tomorrow are still decent, but next week rain is approaching, and last time I checked yesterday, almost all upcoming days next week are going to be rainy. So I think a lot of people are taking the moment to enjoy the sunshine while they still can. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. I already see some in the chat that have found the custom emojis, some members. This is Play Flight 460 arriving from Reykjavik, 2 hours and 42 minutes underway. A320 Neo, 4 years old, first flight September 2020. Let's make the chat red. Playtime it is. Me too, Wolfgang. To see Play and ITA next to each other parked. And with snow, it'll be sleigh time for this airplane. Indeed, Frank. Well played indeed, Artse ohne Grenzen. Hey, bom dia, João, who is tuning in from the northeast of Brazil, Paraíba. Bom dia. Parallel arrivals in progress for the time being until approximately 11:40. Going to the center runway now. We have number 190 from KLM returning from Oslo. KLM flight 1198. 1 hour and 24 minutes underway. 10-year-old airplane. First flight January 2014. Seems that we will have to wait a little bit before another airplane to Polderbaan is approaching. Luckily, traffic to the center runway is continuing. Hey Marco, goedemorgen. Happy Saturday, man. Hope all is well. Catching our next Embraer 175. Another rare Embraer. For some reason now, rush hour with Embraers. Lucky us. Normally speaking, you would never see them. Particularly not from KLM. Very rare, this airplane. This is KLM flight 1230 arriving from Gothenburg. Embraer 175, and after that we have a KLM 737-800 arriving from Vienna. Hey Wesley and Navy Jack, good morning to you and all other viewers who have joined. Good morning, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right, which now together with runway 18 center are the two runways open for arrivals. It's a sunny day, the sun is out, no clouds in the sky. Cavalcade day, a little bit of wind. The wind is blowing from the southeast, which the camera is pointing to right now. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke. Looks like so. And from now until approximately 11:40 local time, two runways are open for arrivals. After that, Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to, will once again become the only runway for arrivals until approximately 1 o'clock, and then between 1 and 2 o'clock another dual parallel arrival runway configuration will open up. Next to arrive at Polderbaan is Transavia flight 5632. It is arriving from Palma de Mallorca, 737-800, 2 hours and 13 minutes underway. First flight was in April 2002, making this airplane 22 years old. And the airplane next to land after that is the second banana of the day, or ketchup and mustard hot dog, if you will. DHL A300-600, this one arriving from Madrid. The other one arriving from London Luton already landed. And more Embraers also coming to the Polderbaan after that. Banana from España. Banana from España. Indeed, Frank. First up, Transavia, arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Oh. Holy shizzle. Pretty sure that they weren't, but it visually looked like those birds were awfully close to the airplane. Bird control is needed. I spy with my little eye JD is coming. Now we have DHL, the second banana of the day, A300-600 arriving from Madrid, 2 hours and 5 minutes on the way. It's the DAEAT. The airplane is 30 years old as well, a few months younger than the other airplane was. The other airplane was from February 1994 and this one is from July 1994. Now, has it been sniffing some powder? It does look like it, doesn't it? Morning. Good to have you. How are you, mate? Busy on the road? Around Utrecht. Oh, you went via the, what is it, the A2? Yeah.
And there was an A327.
Oh yeah.
This is closed.
Yeah.
So they
Oh, you didn't go via the A1?
We went to via Preferred.
Okay, oh, yeah. Ah. Well, just in time to see the second DHL A300 land. And we're going to get a butt shot by the looks of it as well. Gives me a quick moment to go over to the laptop. And say a massive big thank you to Wolfgang, who just now gifted 5 memberships because of the arrival of JD. So thank you so much.
Hi, Wolfgang. Good to not see you. I do not know.
Good to not see you, but
good to know that you're there.
Good to know that you're there. Now, Maria was already telling us in the chat earlier that she was expecting to arrive around 11:45.
How cool is that?
Yeah, so she will be dropping by to say hi to you as well. 3 airplane glide slope shot over here, ladies and gentlemen. In the foreground we have KLM flight 1704 arriving from Brussels. It is an Embraer 190. We have a 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Las Vegas behind it. After that we have a 777-300 that is arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. And Maria says can't wait. Perfect. Marianne also says hi, waving. Hi everybody on behalf of Jörg. Hey there Bob, good evening. Bob tuning in from Sydney, Australia. Good evening mate, hope you've had a good day. Wolfgang says, sometime when I am grown up I will visit AMS too. We'll be waiting for you mate, we'll be waiting for you. Oh, of course, yeah, sure. Frank asks, JD, und Schnaps mitgenommen?
Just vodka.
Just vodka. Let's see, parallel arrivals, that's a 737 coming in. That is Anadolu Jet, the old livery, not the A-Jet, but the Anadolu Jet. Andy also in the chat, good morning Andy, good to see you. Alrighty, flying AMS live logo next to land, KLM flight 636 arriving from Las Vegas, 9 hours 29 minutes on the way. I was looking at the actual local departure time, 4:47 p.m. yesterday. PH BKG, 4 years old, first flight January 2020. Ooh, nice Bob, not jealous at all. Nice warm day today, 26C. That's nice temperature for spring. Spring in Sydney. C already. Next up, KLM flight 598 777-300 arrived from Cape Town, South Africa. 11 hours and 5 minutes underway. The PH BVN, 9 years old, first flight February 2015. The airplane behind it already visible, that is arriving from Birmingham. That is a KLM 737, I think it is, yeah. Also, I see that Nico just became a member again. Welcome back mate, good to have you back. We kept your seat warm. And thank you for once again choosing to reside in the Aurora Sky Lounge there, Nico. Meanwhile, Air Oink Oink is arriving on the center runway. Arriving from Istanbul, flight 1251, A321 Neo, 2 hours 54 minutes underway. The registration is the TCRFA. Brand new airplane. First flight of this airplane was in June 2024. After that, an Embraer 190 arriving from Nice, which is nice. And in the meantime, the 737-900 arriving from Birmingham is approaching Polderbaan. Peter K says, nice weather in AMS today. Here the whole week is cloudy and rainy. Well, it is the last day of abundant sunshine. Thought that the latest weather forecast for tomorrow was also indicating tomorrow was going to be decent, although a bit more cloudy already, and after that, hell. Autumn hell with rain and wind from the south. So I'm not sure if on those days parking P3 is a backup option. Probably not. If the wind is blowing from the south, you will get just as wet in the garage as outdoors. So probably the last abundantly sunny day here as well for a long time to come. KLM flight 1042 in the foreground, bottom right, 737-900 arriving from Birmingham. PHBXR, 23 years old, first flight September 2001. The airplane after that, Air Canada, flight 808. Now, for some reason, Delta Airlines flight 74, the A350 from Delta, assigned to the center runway. I see it on the glide slope for center. Boo! ATC is screwing with us. They're screwing us over. Unless they are going to close the runway temporarily to do a runway inspection preceding the closure of Polder Center. In that case, okay, I think it is acceptable. Wipstra 68, goedemorgen. Just as pretty as it is in Friesland in the north. And Jerry says hurricane in the Atlantic is moving towards France in 5 days. Ah, that explains the copious amounts of rain that are now in the forecast for the next week. Now, let's just savor the moment. Sun and no clouds and hardly any wind today. Lovely autumn day. Air Canada flight 808 with its maple leaf on the tail. Next to land over here, arriving from Toronto, 6 hours and 31 minutes on the way. It's a 7879 Dreamliner, the mid-size, 8 years old, first flight April 2016. So now my ground crew is once again seated here, not Lisa in the director's chair, but it is Jörg on his director's crutch. As we are watching the Delta A350 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, go to the center runway, sadly. Now it's not like they're closing Polderbaan already, because there is an Embraer 190 arriving from Zurich next to land. After that, an Embraer 175 arriving from Bristol, so I don't know why they have sent the A350 to the center runway. Normally speaking, it would have been assigned Polderbaan. Hey there, Ian. Good morning. Hey there, Hans Olaf. Good morning. Good to see you both. Right, so Delta Airlines A350-900 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, flight 74, going to the wrong runway. What the fudge? Why? utter BS. But can't be helped. Means we have to make do with small airplanes. More small airplanes before the next big ones are arriving. This is Helvetic Airways, arriving from Zurich, flight 724, Embraer 190, 14-year-old airplane already, first flight September 2010. It is an Embraer fest here again, also to the center runway. Parallel arrivals with an Embraer 175 arriving from Luxembourg next to land on the center runway, and another one of those Embraer 175s is coming in here, arriving from Bristol, flight 1076. Let's turn to it. The airplane behind it is a 737-800 KLM flight 1406, arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. Definitely need some vodka to get those tears out from the Delta A350 not going to the Potterbaan. Boo-hoo. Big picture wise, you can see the sun is out and still next to no clouds, just a few contrail remnants north of me, and maybe if you look towards the sea in the distance towards the horizon, a bit of murkiness. Serious high pressure here. Bazooka 1987. Good morning from Germany, he says. Good morning to you too. Or she. Hey, flying AMS Live logo next. So we're building up to bigger airplanes. This is KLM flight 1406, arriving from Paris. 16 years old, first flight February 2008. Morgen Martin. And this one does have the cabinet for the mother-in-law. And indeed it is, Victor. This is the pull around. With one heavy hitter and an A330-200 arriving from Toronto. Now also on the glide slope of center. Why are they doing that? That is very unfortunate. The airplane next on the glide slope is a 737-800 arriving from Edinburgh. So, next to land, KLM flight 758, arriving from Panama City, 9 hours and 16 minutes. This 787-10 Dreamliner is underway. It is the PHBKH. The airplane is 4 years old. Its first flight was in May 2020. Flap surfaces, perfectly clean, typical KLM. Absolutely immaculate. Hey Liewe, goedemorgen kerel. Shamara, good morning. Bill, good morning. Mats, goedemorgen. Good to have you all. Welcome back, one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along Polderbaan. I'm already accompanied by JD. Marja is coming later. This is a KLM Airbus that was assigned center for some reason. It is arriving from Toronto. So why it has been assigned to the center runway beats me. Extensive murmuration of birds in the foreground. We also saw that yesterday. Massive amounts of starlings in the vicinity. So the bird controllers have their work cut out for them. Meanwhile, I see that Paul is also back in the chat. Morning, Mr. Biker. Hope all is well. Welcome one and all. Parallel arrival still in progress for the time being. Next airplane to land on center is Austrian. Arriving from Melbourne? No, Vienna. Huh. Short flight. 1 hour and 21 minutes on the way. Flight 379. A millennial. First flight of this airplane was in December 1999. EasyJet A319 arriving from Bristol, next to land on Polderbaan. Morning, Bill. Oh, Russell is overtaking. There you go, Russell Crowe, fastest crow in the nation. Able to overtake a landing airplane. Next up, EasyJet A319 arriving from Bristol. 56 minutes on their way. Austrian registered, 16 years old, first flight August 2008. Hier is Slijm, goedemorgen. And Ian asks, what was the parking issue the other day? You mean a couple of weeks ago? Apparently I was parked somewhere where the traffic warden said I wasn't allowed to park, even though the police said, or at least they never made an issue out of it whenever they passed by, so I'm not sure who is right. Transavia and the Sunweb livery in the meantime going to the center runway, and I'm expecting center to close in a couple of minutes from now. On paper it should close around 11:40, so that means these are probably the last airplanes going there right now. In the meantime, Polderbaan is receiving inbound traffic as well. Embraer 190 arriving from Humberside, next to land Eastern Airways, Britty Hopper, arriving from Humberside. 37 minutes on the way. Embraer 190 long range. 17 years old. First flight somewhere in 2007. And another Embraer 190 in the background. Arriving from Newcastle. KLM flight 954. More Embraer 190s. Now one also arriving from Stavanger, passing by, going to the center runway. It's all Embraer 190s over here right now. Embraer 190 and 2 more consecutive Embraer 190s to pull the band as well. Rare Embraers, you hardly ever see them over here, so feast your eyes on this. Nice little butt shot there. What? Is the 777-200 arriving from Vancouver also assigned to the center runway? Motherfuckers. Is it one of those days again? It is one of those days again. ATC is screwing with us. All the big birds going to center. Alright, Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Aguadilla. That seems to be coming this way. Navy Jack also back in the chat, good morning. And all others who have joined in the meantime, good morning to you too. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. Still one of 2 runways open for arrivals, pretty soon no more. First officer waving. Not sure if it was specifically to us, but I did reciprocate. Ah, okay, yeah, that's exactly why I need the camera, because otherwise I wouldn't also have seen it. If you're standing here just with your bare eyes, you see so much less than when you use the camera to zoom in. Now, another one that gets away, KLM flight 682, 777-200, arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Now, fear not, we are going to get our fix in the form of a 777-300ER, arriving from Aguadilla, Emirates Sky Cargo, flight 9914, 7 hours and 33 minutes underway, the A6EFO, 9 years old, first flight October 2014. Hadi Clementia, goedemorgen. Danny Rules, goedemorgen. Now, I'm already joined by JD and pretty soon I'm also expecting that Maria is going to show up. Nice get together here on a beautiful sunny day here at Schiphol Airport. Hadi Greet, goedemorgen. John is also hopping over before going to bed. Welcome to Dessert Channel. Right, 2 more airplanes to center. Probably the last ones then. One of Transavia's A321 Neos is approaching. Firstly, returning from Preveza in Greece. After that, number 190, that is returning from Hanover in Germany. And just having turned into come to Polderbaan is KLM flight 1944, arrived from Basel. Another Embraer 190. Oh, vibrations due to the wind. The wind is picking up a little bit. Maybe also a good moment to check the meter once again. It is still KVK. Still have yet to see a cloud in the sky, although I do see a contrail that might be a quad squad arriving from Frankfurt. Yes, that's more than 2 contrails. Engine exhaust contrails. I see something, I see a dark blue tail, it's Lufthansa. Although if it is an A340 600, a 7478 or an A380, I don't see yet. The further it moves away from the sun, the better we can see it. Now, a bit more detail. Looking at the wings, I'm inclined to say it is an A340. Pretty sure it's an A340, looking at the angle and the size. Yeah. Yes, it becomes more clear now. A340. Now, if it is a 600 or not, I cannot see, but it's definitely a Lufti A340. Flying a bit further away than is ideal, so I'm in the far end of digital zoom, which makes everything pixelated. Mrs. Professor says there's a female captain and female first officer to fly the Emirates cargo into Amsterdam. Often I wonder if it's them. Yeah, well, I didn't know that, first of all. Wouldn't be surprised if some of the landings we see are them. Then again, I'm not sure how big their fleet is. Theoretically, it could be possible. Whether or not it's them, I think we'll never know unless they are reaching out to me to tell so. To say so. This is one of the Adlers, returning from Basel. It's the Damwo. Squeaky brakes on an Embraer. And there's a first. Check it out, Gary Grebe, the mother ducker, doing what he always does, diving under as soon as his sixth sense senses that there is a camera pointed towards him. Hey Infinity, goedemorgen, good to see you again mate, hope all is well. And Alexander is tuning in from Johannesburg, good morning. NJ, good morning. Others who've joined in the meantime, good morning. More Embraers. Unbelievable. Iberia Express next. I am doing well as well, Infinity. Thank you for asking. Lovely weather over here. Already joined by Jörg, and Marja is joining soon. Optimal day here. One of the last sunny days this autumn. Maybe even the last. Iberia Express next. A321 Neo arriving from Madrid. Don't recall that I have seen A321 Neos of Iberia Express before. Have we? Not exactly sure. Hey, Orange Pride in about 30 minutes. Thanks for the heads up, Marissa. I'm not seeing any traffic going to the center runway anymore, so this once again has become the only runway for arrivals. Expected to stay so until 1 PM local time. You can find the local time in the bottom left of your ticker. Well, not your ticker, but the ticker. And Damon, thank you for the information. The contrail was the A340-300 from Frankfurt to Washington. Nifty indeed. And this A321 Neo is a year old already. First flight July 2023. Hey Martin, Martin is tuning in from Grimsby, Ontario, where it is 5:46 AM, so you are up early, or maybe up late still, but probably up early then. Welcome. Now, 2 airplanes on the glide slope, both Embraer 190s, the former arriving from Berlin, the latter arriving from Darlington, or Teesside. Hey Tina, goedemorgen. Third Embraer 190 is turning in, so 3 consecutive Embraer 190s. Holy cow. Now these are very rare airplanes, so we are so incredibly lucky to see them. KLM flight 1774 arriving from Berlin first. That is the second Adler, so we saw the demo already. Leaves us with the DAJHW as the next airplane. 18 years old, first flight somewhere in 2006. Ooh, more birds. Like a Hitchcock film. Where's the bird control? Bloody hell. Yep. Yeah, go sit a bit closer to the runway, why don't you? Suicidal birds. Peter K says, north of you, you should see an Air India A350 in the new livery to London. I'm sure it's flying over there somewhere. I'm looking up right now. Problem is that most of the airplanes are barely or not producing a contrail at all. I do see something with a little contrail coming this way. I think it might be it. Now can I also point the camera towards it? Yeah, that's it. I think that might be it. Air India A350. The winglets do look like they are an A350, don't they? I think that is the airplane. Still far away. It is inching closer by, so we'll get back to that shortly. See if we can spot a bit more detail. In the meantime, Eastern Airways, the Britty Hopper. QJ asks, can I say good morning to JD already? You can, he's over there. QJ says good morning.
Tell QJ hi for me.
And hi from Jörg as well, QJ. Let's have another go at that contrail. Where did I see it? Let's zoom in a little bit more. There it is. Is that the Air India A350? Yes, that is it, isn't it? It says so on the tin. Telescope mode disengaged. K3 in action. Right, coming in next, Transavia flight 6918, arriving from Olbia, 2 hours and 8 minutes underway, the PHHSM, 9 years old, first flight April 2015. It's good to see that the bird control has arrived and is doing something about that murmuration that was in the field over there. Wouldn't be surprised if the pilots of the previous flights reported that the birds were there through ATC. But K3 got the call. Hurry up. Fireworks for JD, Wolfgang says. Obviously. Obviously.
Is the sound which you hear frequently, is this also something like broken?
I don't know. It could be. Looking to see if I can spot. There are also sometimes sort of kites with bird shapes that are flapping in the wind. That's also used to deter birds from fields where crops are being grown. Whether or not it is a bird deterrent or not, I don't know. I've heard it on the streams before. People have reported hearing it. I've also heard it myself over here. Still don't know where it is coming from. Whether or not it is from over here or if it is from the fields on the other side past the runway area. No idea.
I started hearing it when I left the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah. So it is emanating from somewhere here in the vicinity. I suspect it is from the east side, but I don't know for sure, and I don't know what it is, where it is coming from. Is it Schiphol? Is it one of the neighboring farmers? So if anybody knows that that you sometimes hear, and a lot of you have already reported hearing it. If anybody knows what it is, do let us know. We're also wondering over here. We're waiting for the next airplane to Polderbaan. In the meantime, is this Emirates? Yep, Emirates 777-300. flying not too far north of me. Hey Michael, also back in the chat, and don't like carrot also in the chat on board AY1302. Glide slope is establishing, and we have EasyJet in the foreground first, arriving from London Luton, A320 Neo. 5-year-old airplane, first flight February 2019. Transavia arriving from Ibiza behind it. And then Embraer 190 KLM arriving from Leeds, now number 3. Han is also back in the chat. Morgen Han, good to see you mate. Welcome one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing at Polleran. Runway 18 right, currently the only runway for arrivals once more until approximately 1 PM local time. I'm already joined by Jörg or JD, and Maria is also expected to arrive any moment now. Beautiful weather over here, little bit of wind from the south-southeast. It's another cavalcade day. A few contrails here and there visible. Orange Pride is expected soon. And last time we checked, the ETA of the A380 was just past 1 o'clock, so it's probably going to land on the center runway. Hey Mart, goedemorgen. Jan Kees, goedemorgen. Just in time. Let's quickly turn back. Landing now is Transavia, flight 5672, arriving from Ibiza. Party hardy. K3, the bird controller over there. Sticking around so that those Starlings stay away. Dale asks if JD drank all the vodka. No, he hasn't taken a single sip yet. He's sticking with regular water. Still has to drive back to Düsseldorf, otherwise he has to take one of the KLM Embraers back. But then his wife has to pick him up and he has the car with him, so he has to pick his wife up in fact. No vodka for you, just plain old water, boring. Speaking of vodka, time to take a sip. Jörg is going on the energy drinks. ISO drinks, ah. Meanwhile, MBA also back in the chat. Good morning. And Carlos says there's a Boeing 747 in the south. Right. Let me see if I can see something. A Boeing 747 in the south? Where exactly, Carlos? German Airways flying on behalf of KLM, returning from Leeds, flying as KLM flight 1020. They don't want us to have a look in the cockpit. Now looking up in the sky in the south, I'm not seeing any contrails at the moment whatsoever. Just blue. So any 747s, or is that it? Is it outbound? No. Surely that's not it. No, that's a Chinese triple. Flying outbound to Guangzhou. Coming this way, let's follow it. Next to land over here is an A320 Neo EasyJet arriving from Nice, which is nice but not nice enough to follow in favor of this 777 freighter going back to China. Oh, I was trying to have a look at the chat as well. Multitasking is not a good thing. Quickly turn back so that the camera wires don't get tangled. World Aviation back in the chat, good to see you. PK GTI says 588 viewers but only 311 likes. Well, apparently this is shitty content, so that's very unfortunate. This is KLM flight 767 A330-300 arriving from Bonaire. 8 hours and 35 minutes. It's a fake airplane, PH-AKE, 11 years old, first flight January 2013. Marina's also in the chat. That T7 will overfly my house in 7 minutes. And Mercer says behind the China is Finnair A350 also flying the same route. This is KLM flight 767 arriving from Bonaire. First up, A330-300, 8 hours and 35 minutes underway. And after that, a 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil. Nice. Where is the A350? It is already approaching. Bad timing. This is Professor signing off. 3 AM means time for bed. Going to bed early. Just kidding. Thank you for joining, Mrs. Professor. Sleep well. Hope to see you in the next one. Hey Matt, goedemiddag. 3 minutes past noon. Now, bad timing. You're probably hearing the A350 passing overhead. That's the Finnair A350. It's passing by here, coinciding with the landing of a A330. Now, last glimpses of the Finnair A350 going back to bloody Helsinki. Is that Moomin? Are those Moomins cuddling, or... It doesn't look like the standard livery now, does it? Anyway, that was the last glimpse of it. Time for another heavy hitter coming in. It is KLM flight 755, and it was indeed the Moomin livery. Because I was trying to press on the label of the 777, and in fact I pressed on the label of the A350 Finnair, just passing by. KLM flight 755, 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil, which is in, as we all know, or now know, the flight time 10 hours and 39 minutes. It is the PHBQG, 20 years old, first flight April 2004. Ricardo also back in the chat, goedemiddag. And Nico also in the chat, goedemiddag. The trash airplane is next after this 777, the TRA 8H, arriving from Barcelona, Transavia flight 5132. Once again, we can establish the flap surfaces look immaculate. I'm suspecting KLM has a car wash that is airplane sized somewhere in their hangars. They always look very clear and crisp, unlike some Chinese 777s. Now, as you guys can see, quite a few people over here. I'm also seeing Maria already coming this way. I think she did not see me wave. Was throwing her a little wave. More people at the gate already. And people with cars parked where you're not allowed to park your car. So hopefully they won't get fined by the police officers if they pass by. There is a chance that they will. All depends on who you will encounter. So once again, here we have the trash airplane TRA 8H Transavia flight 5132, arriving from Barcelona, 737-800, 1 hour and 56 minutes of flight time. The PHHBN, 13 years old, first flight February 2011. Right. No, hardly any wind. It's a cavalcade day and not a lot of reversers. There were a couple of Delta A330s in the beginning of the show that did use the reversers a little bit, but all very moderate, if they were used at all. Orange Pride arriving from Lima will probably be the number 2 to arrive. We have KLM flight 1830 arriving from Stuttgart. That is now first to arrive. KLM flight 744 next. More outbound airplanes coming this way. Sound is big, the airplane is a bit smaller. Where is it? There it is. Another KLM 737. No? Yeah? No? Embraer 190. I think bird control is also using the time to do an inspection. Interesting airplanes arriving from east and west. KLM flight 1830 is now turning in. And Jerry asks, who is there with you? Well, at the moment on the left, JD, and walking up right now on the right is Maria. Oi. Behind a tractor, yeah, that slows you down a little bit, particularly if there's no room to overtake. Well, your timing is perfect still. The Orange Pride is flying base and is now just approaching overland. Warm greetings from Wolfgang to the ground crew. Warm good day to your ground crew. Elwa and Peter K all say hi. And now let's see, KLM flight 1830, the first next airplane to arrive from Stuttgart, 58 minutes underway. The Orange Pride will be behind it. It is flying base. Can we see it already, I wonder? I think I have it. Bam, there you go. Orange Pride in the north of Beverwijk, flying base. Still have it here. On flight radar I can see that the DC-3 Dakota is approaching runway 22 to land. Not sure that we can see it from over here. Well, only one thing at a time. The Orange Pride already visible, turning in. And a quick look at the airplane arriving from Stuttgart, now landing. Michael says, be careful. In my experience, ground crew can be poorly trained. I could tell you a couple of dangerous stories about ground crew. Well, unfortunately, they're not hearing it. Maria is showing Jörg her pictures. My ground crew seems to be preoccupied with catching up, and rightly so. In the meantime, for us, the viewers, we have the Orange Pride established now on the glide slope of 18 right, KLM flight 744, 777-300 arriving from Lima in Peru. It is the KLM Orange Pride, the PHBVA, 11 hours and 27 minutes on this flight from Peru to Amsterdam. 16-year-old airplane, first flight January 2008, just as old as Chucky is, which we haven't seen in quite a while. And Austrian Wolf says, on that bombshell, I need to go to the birthday party, so thank you Wolfgang for joining. Enjoy your birthday party and hope to see you again tomorrow then. There it is. It's getting closer by. The next airplane behind the Orange Pride is Transavia, arriving from Corfu. Marissa says, don't remind me of Chucky. Sorry. Sorry. Chucky seems to have retired from coming to the Netherlands, yeah. At least for the time being. Then again, that happened before, and then all of a sudden it started coming again on an almost daily basis, so you never know for sure. But it's been quite a few weeks already since we last saw it. It has gone missing together with Captain Wheelie. Have they eloped? Anyway, Orange Pride, next to land. That's all the time we have left. Too bad. Sorry. Just kidding. Right, next up Transavia flight 5312. Hey, goeiedag. Ziek. Ziek, die had koorts vanmorgen. Die ligt in bed met pijnstilling. Ja.
Ik ga voor de catering zorgen.
Ja, nee, vandaag niet. Ze zouden naar België sowieso al gaan, maar dat is niet doorgegaan. Ziek geworden, oh ja? Hou hem lekker zelf, joh. Jawel. So next up, Transavia flight 5312 arriving for Corfu. Ah, come on, man. You really shouldn't. Ah. Dankjewel, man. Dankjewel. Thank you so much. Ja, dankjewel. Ik zal het doorgeven.
Ja.
Hopelijk de volgende keer weer. Ja, het heerst enorm. Ja. Ik had het van de week ook eventjes hoor, dat je toch eventjes een beetje je keel voelde, maar ging gelukkig weer over. Ready. Next up is Aer Lingus, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. The old standard livery, flight 604. And a contrail remnant, but not seeing. All of a sudden I'm seeing a contrail remnant over there, but I'm not seeing the contrail. The airplane that was producing it. Was hoping maybe we could see something big, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. A 3 airplane glide slope shop with a linear glide slope over here. In the foreground, Shamrock flight 604 arriving from Dublin. In the middle we have a lot to see, arriving from Warsaw, Embraer 175. Third airplane is arriving from Bergen, a 737-800 KLM flight 1164. Now, also a massive big thank you to Peter K, who just now gifted a membership. I see that Ronan was the recipient of the membership. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Ronan. Don't forget to say thank you to Peter for your gifted membership. And also don't forget to use the custom emojis that goes for all members. Ik ben helemaal weer je naam vergeten. Wat is je naam ook alweer? Sorry? Adi. Dankjewel voor de drankjes. Adi, the refreshment guy who was bringing over something to drink for Lisa and me recently just passed by once more for another round of refreshments. Now unfortunately Lisa is not here. She wasn't going to be here anyway because she was going to go back to Belgium, but unfortunately she got ill and has a fever. So she's now first recovering before going back to Belgium. But Adi still brought along some drinks here. Once again, thank you so much Adi. Dankjewel man, echt super aardig van je, dank je. Nou, ik heb altijd wel water bij me hoor. Dat komt niet helemaal om van de dorst. Hey, will to fly. A350, fourth for arrival. Nice. And Marissa also says that the another Delta A330 is following after that. So, first up, lot flight 263 arriving from Warsaw, Embraer 175, 1 hour and 32 minutes underway. It is an Embraer 175 long range with the registration SP Lil. So, little airplane with long range. What's it called? Lil Guppy. Lil Guppy, 14 years old, first flight March 2010. Now, doesn't that look like a polished landing? Squeaky clean. Polished indeed. Lil Lottie, that's a nice one Marissa, Lil Lottie. Zei je? Het is heerlijk, ja. Ja, aanvankelijk zou het wat slechter weer zijn geloof ik hè, maar nu geloof ik dat het toch wel... Ja, precies. Nou, morgen geloof ik ook nog dezelfde wind, dus morgen deel 2. Ja, een van de laatste dagen, hè. Volgens mij gaat het volgende week helemaal los. Regen, regen, regen.
2 weken meteen de wel. En toen was het niet nou weer.
Dat is waar. Ja, je weet het nooit. The weather can always change. Ari and I are discussing how nice the weather is today, but that it is expected to change pretty soon. Then again, nothing is changing as frequently as weather forecasts for the Netherlands. Let's quickly turn back. A350. We already saw one from Delta, but it was assigned to the wrong runway. This one, however, is assigned to our runway, and behind it is a Delta A330. KLM Airlines World to Fly, arriving from Curaçao, Willemstad, 8 hours and 27 minutes underway. The EC NZF, a year old, first flight May 2023. The airplane behind it is an A330 Neo, Delta Airlines Flight 144, arriving from Seattle, Washington. Third airplane is turning in, it's flying base. Not sure if we can see it already on flight radar. It looks like it is turning in, so if it is going to appear, it will come in from the left, probably a bit lower than the two airplanes already visible. Vueling, Hans' favorite, arriving from Barcelona. Overhead 737 by the looks of it, KLM outbound. No, I'm not yet seeing it. Vueling, turning in. I'm sure we'll see it soon enough. First, let's have a look at this beautiful machine, Corendon World to Fly. 8 hours 29 minutes it has flown to get here. A year-old airplane, first flight May 2023. Doesn't it look like a Predator bird made out of composite? Is elated because this is one of the first airplanes finally using the reversers. Next up, Delta Airlines Flight 144. Another airplane with the potential to get loud. I'm also looking up and around me. Oh no, that's an outbound airplane from Schiphol. Still trying to see if maybe I could spot some contrails, but unfortunately in that respect, oh, the first low clouds. Nimbo Cumulo. No longer Cavoque over here. Insufficient noise, Bill J says. Go around, do it again. Hopefully Delta Airlines will fare better. This is flight 144, arriving from Seattle, Washington. A330 Neo, 9 hours and 6 minutes underway. It's November 425 Delta X-Ray. Brand new airplane. Celebrating its first birthday somewhere this month. First flight was in October 2023. So a KLM 777-300 is flying base. Will follow the Vueling perhaps? Probably. Not too bad, not too bad. Reversers are being used, but in moderation today. Not full thrust by the sound of it. And the airplane we saw land just now, Bill saw flying over his house last night after it just took off from the airfield. Cool. That is so cool that you can see it take off and also see it land. I sometimes have that when I'm checking airline videos and see the KLM Dreamliner, one of them that I saw that I filmed, land there. Leroy says Austrian 767 approaching from the southeast. Or what? Lekker indeed, Alan. Now, Vueling A320 up next. After that, KLM flight 622 by the looks of it. 777-300 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, zal ik doorgeven? Dankjewel hè.
Ja, dat dinsdag, woensdag in ieder geval. Nee, nog een keer aanbieden.
Ik zal het doorgeven, Arie. Hartstikke bedankt. Tot de volgende keer. Doei doei.
Ja, hoi, goed weekend.
Dank je, jij ook. Alan also has to go. Catch you later. Yet another great show, legend. He says, Alan, thank you for joining. Don't forget to piss someone off today. Otherwise, it is a day that is lost. Now, talking about stuff being lost, is that yellow dot still there or has it been lost? It's still there. Beautiful. Also, in the meantime, doing a wheelie, has Captain Wheelie migrated as he moved. Wow, check it out. Still going. And now the touchdown. That is a Captain Wheelie length wheelie. Amazing. Bill Ojo also signing off. You have a great rest of your day as well, mate. And let me see. I am seeing something flying overhead, but it isn't producing a contrail. Makes it very hard to see on the screen, but I found it. Is that the Icelandair? Not sure that it is. It looks more like Lufty. Or is it? Not sure. And now it starts producing a little bit of a contrail remnant. Anyway. Next up, KLM flight 622, 777-300 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 7 hours and 28 minutes on the way. The PHBVO, biertje voor onderweg, beer for on the road. The airplane is 9 years old. Flight duration 7 hours and 20 minutes. The first flight was in March 2015. Icelandair flight 500 is coming to the Polderaan. It is approaching this flying base. Can we see it already? We were able to see the orange pride. I'm pretty sure that if I know where I need to look, I can also spot the Icelandair. Not seeing it just yet. Also KLM 737 arriving from Milan, 737 arriving from the east will precede the Icelandair flight 500-767. Sadly, the 767s all in the current livery, those white livery blue letters. Very sterile. Another sip of vodka. Is there a private jet passing overhead? Private turboprop or something. Sure, I heard something passing overhead. that has a propeller. Obviously not able to see it. You might pick it up on the mic. Ha, Ronald, goedemiddag. Just pointing the mic up in what I think is the direction the sound is emanating from. Or is it? Is that a Cessna of sorts? Or a Piper? Not sure. Not able to see it. I can hear something, but I'm not able to see anything. Michael says it's sad that Icelandair has grounded their 757s forever. I did not know that. Interesting, because wasn't it yesterday or last week? Yeah, I think it was yesterday that I saw 757-200 taking off again. And I think, let's see, it is Saturday now? I think Thursday we saw one land. When I was in P3. Jimmy Pirate heard something too. Vliegtuig Spotters Nederland is also at the Spottersplaats. Piper PA321 350 Navajo Chieftain. Thank you Peter K for the update. Now in the meantime, number 2 on the right, on the left hand side, Icelandair flight 500 arriving from Reykjavik, 767-300. In the foreground we have KLM flight 1614 737-700 arriving from Milan. KLM flight 604 returning from LAX 777-200 is also flying base, preceded by a KLM Embraer 175. Those are the next 2 airplanes probably arriving after these 2 have landed. So, KLM flight 1614 arriving from Milan, first next airplane to land here at Polderaan. 737-700, 1 hour and 19 minutes of flight time. The PHBGH, 14 years old, first flight November 2009. QJ says, I believe the 757-300 will retire off Icelandair. That would be a shame, because those are their special liveries, or at least their special liveries are 757-300s. Or is the 100 years independence a 200? I thought it was a 300 as well. Those are gorgeous airplanes. So that really would be a shame if they were to retire them. Hey there, Toby. Good afternoon, welcome. And welcome all others who have joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing over here at Polderaan. I have a ground crew with me. JD has come over from Düsseldorf, and Maria, who is visiting her relatives in the Netherlands, came over from New Zealand, also coming by today. It is a beautiful day here. We have wind blowing from the south-southeast, handful of knots, gorgeous blue sky, although now in the last few hours it is getting a bit more cloudy, slowly but surely. This is Icelandair flight 500 767-300 arriving from Reykjavik, 2 hours and 37 minutes underway. 26-year-old airplane, first flight October 1997. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It's not mandatory, but it's always appreciated. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. A lot of people are watching. Many of them are knowledgeable and all of them are friendly. So don't be afraid to say hi or interact with everybody in the chat. Quite a few people, if you look in the background behind the fence, packed with people. So it's probably filled to the brim with people at the parking place of the Spottersplatz, the official location of the Spottersplatz. If you look around, you can see a few cumulus clouds have accumulated, so to speak. And the wind on the scale of chimney smoke currently looks like this, which is interesting. One is blowing quite horizontally, the other is more vertical. Hey there, Kelly! Back from cruise. Hope you and mods and chat are all well. Well, speaking for myself, I definitely am, Kelly. Hope you are doing well as well. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. Two airplanes on the glide slope. The Embraer 175 arriving from Cardiff in the foreground, and in the background we have KLM Flight 604 arriving from LAX. That's a 777-200ER. Third airplane behind it. Somebody on a moped, beeping, waving. Third airplane behind it, now turning in, KLM Flight 1602. That is a 737-800 arriving from Rome. Ludovicos is tuning in, says, just joined, what's been the highlight of the stream so far? I'm not sure what would be the highlight of the stream thus far. Why don't you guys chime in the chat? What is your highlight so far? Being here, indeed. Hadi Martin, goedemiddag. Jonas, goedemiddag. Jonas says, I love AMS Live. Thank you for your kind words, Jonas. KLM Flight 1088. Embraer 175. Motorbike horns sound so pathetic, Yorkshire says. This was a little moped scooter. One of those 50cc ones that in the Netherlands you don't need a specific motorcycle driver license for, but something a bit less thorough. Although these days you do have to undergo a practical examination as well as a theoretical one. In my time it used to only be 50 multiple choice questions, of which you had to answer 45 or more correctly, then you would get a certificate and that would be it. But it was not a full-fledged motorcycle as it would be called in the Netherlands. That would be everything over 50 cc's of displacement. Anthony says, I can see the pilots. Absolutely, if I zoom in more than the optical zoom, use digital zoom, you can definitely see them. There was a nice wave of a captain yesterday taking off who made eye contact and I waved to him, he waved back. You can see that on a regular basis that they also wave. Idle reverse landing. Slots are open, but no additional noise is being produced. Jonas is from Belgium. Nice. Ah well, welcome. And same rules in the UK. Ah, okay. Alrighty. Two airplanes on the glide slope. KLM Flight 1602 arriving from Rome in the foreground and a Transavia arriving from Malaga behind it. Third airplane also visible, nice linear 3 airplane glide slope shot, and the third airplane is also a Transavia that is arriving from Samos. And EasyJet is coming in from Berlin from the east. That might become the fourth airplane. Yeah, probably will be. And QJ says that Malaga is, if I'm right, the Peter Pan, so that would be nice. What are your thoughts on the Peter Pan livery, folks? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Does it leave you indifferent? Alex from Bonn also tuning in. Good to see you again. Great Saturday to you too. Hope you're having similar weather as we do over here. Gorgeous sunny weather, little breeze, excellent weather. Now, Arjan, what are you doing, mate? Thank you so much for that. Arjan just now gifted 5 memberships. Arjan, dankjewel. I hope that the recipients will thank you for the gifted memberships. Welcome to the Aurora Skylounge new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Arjan or dankjewel. And be sure to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal for a month. Now, Arjan also has gone green just now. 12 months of membership, so not only 5 members courtesy of you, but also a year of membership yourself. Greenpeace is going to love it. More green members. Arjan, thank you so much for your continued support and all the gifted memberships as well, all throughout the 12 months you've been a member already. Here we have the Peter Pan livery arriving from Samos. So what do you guys think of this one? What do you reckon? Is it a nice livery? Do you hate it? Is it meh? Meanwhile, Sander, goedemiddag. Miri, goedemiddag. Gillian, good afternoon. Just Plain Nuts also back. Good day to you, sir. Good to have you. Diana also tuning in. Goedemiddag. Awesome. It's JG also in the chat. Goedemiddag. And also our latest Aurora Skylounge member. Thank you for choosing the Aurora Skylounge once more. It's JG. We kept your seat warm. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. And Yoyo says, beautiful Peter Pan. Adi says, okay, except for the nose. Just Plain Nut says, it's all choppy, that livery. Alex Bon says, what is the background of that Peter Pan livery? Well, the Peter Pan Vacation Club is an organization, I think, if I recall correctly, that offers holidays to children that are sick. So it's a good cause organization, and yeah, that's to celebrate the existence of the organization, I think. So it's unrelated to Peter Pan, the, what is it, Disney character or whatever it is. It's me, Peter K. Pan. Hey there, Anders, who is tuning in from Stockholm. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Hope all is well. Now, coming in next is EasyJet, arriving from Berlin, an A319. Behind it is a KLM 737-800, arriving from Madrid, KLM flight 1502. After that, an E2 Embraer 195, also from KLM, arriving from Aberdeen. And Lee Spenny is tuning in from Birmingham Airport, England. Great show, he says. Lee, thank you so much for your kind words and welcome to the show. All other viewers who might be new to the channel, welcome to you too. You're watching AMS Live and my name is Boy. We are standing along runway 18 right, aka the Polderbaan. Still for approximately 15 more minutes, at least on paper, the only runway for arrivals. After that, 2 runways expected to stay open for an hour between 1 and 2 p.m. The center runway also opens up That means parallel arrivals. The center runway is a bit further to the east and we can see the glide slope and the airplanes landing on it quite well from over here. The Orange Pride already landed on this runway. The Emirates A380 probably is going to land on the center runway. Now if you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi, it's always appreciated. It's not mandatory by any means, but if you feel inclined to do so, by all means do so. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many viewers are watching, they're all friendly and many of them are knowledgeable, so there's no such thing as a stupid question. Cloud says, my father was on that flight this morning from Cape Town. Nice. So we filmed his arrival. That's a nice bonus. Next up, KLM flight 1502, arriving from Madrid. It is a 737-800. Flight time 2 hours and 5 minutes. The PHBCG, 5 years old. First flight March 2019. And Ludovicos is also headed to the Netherlands in a few days. Only staying for 2 days though. Not enough to go spotting. That is very unfortunate, mate. Are you going to stay somewhere in the vicinity of Schiphol? So that you can at least see some of the traffic, or are you staying somewhere far away from Schiphol? Now, Flight Radar says there's a Cessna 172 passing in the vicinity. I'm doing my best to see if I can spot it. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Next airplane to arrive, arriving from Aberdeen, E2 Embraer 195, 1 hour and 2 minutes underway. PHNXH, 2 years old, first flight February 2022. Vueling A320 Neo next, that's the airplane that you see on the left. And an Embraer 190 outbound to Göteborg is passing by overhead. And that's okay, Jonas, you can also write in Dutch if you want to. Jonas writes that I like the 737-900 more. And mooi in Engels is pretty. In this context at least. Or appealing, aantrekkelijk. Another airplane behind the Vueling. That's KLM flight 1414, Embraer 175 arriving from Rennes in La France. Vueling up next, and look at the picture on Flight Radar of the next airplane. Plastic bags all over. Very flattering picture of this Vueling A320 Neo, if that is actually this airplane. Luckily it looks a bit better on camera than it does on the picture on Flight Radar. The Vueling A320 Neo is flight 8353, 2 hours and 15 minutes underway. 6-year-old airplane, first flight June 2018. looking infinitely better in real life than it does on the picture of Flight Radar. Not sure why they chose that picture. Whoever gave the green light for that. Hey, Marissa is saying that Turkish A330 and Saudia in the new livery are landing on Polderbaan number 5 and 6 for arrival. Did you guys also hear? Marissa is letting us know that the Turkish A330 and Saudia in the new livery are coming to the Polderbaan number 5 and 6 to arrive. Get your camera ready. And the Flight Radar pic gives me COVID vibes indeed, Marissa. Yeah. Where's that Cargolux 747? Not without my mask. So, next up, KLM and Embraer 175 arriving from Rennes. Flight 1414. Transavia arriving from Zakynthos behind it. Flight 1542. Now numbers 4 and 5. Amazing. Floaty. Discussion still ongoing about the sound that you sometimes hear on streams here at Polderbaan. If anybody knows, if anybody is listening in, you sometimes hear over here and we don't know what it is, and we're discussing what it might be. If it is from farmers next to the runway, is it to chase away birds? Is it from Schiphol? Does it serve a different purpose than to chase away birds? If anybody is watching and listening and knows, let us know. By all means, help us out of our misery. We're losing sleep over this. Eddie Carter says the Boeing 737-800 with Peter Pan from Transavia I find the prettiest airplane, and I also have Peter Pan from Dubai Transavia double in his cabinet at home. Nice. Missed the touchdown here because reading the message was giving me a little bit of issues on my phone with pop-ups appearing over Ricardo's message. Nice. So Ricardo is a big fan of the Peter Pan livery. Let's see if I can fix the chat again, because I'm now pretty sure that the chat is stuck. H-Man says that sound is to chase away the birds. H-Man, do you also happen to know if that is emanating from somewhere at the airfield, or is it from one of the farmers that have their land adjacent to the airfield, the runway area? That's what I'm now wondering. Paul says that occasional sound sounds like a Samsung phone notification alert. Let's see, am I seeing the last messages now? Still not seeing the very last message. Okay, now, yeah. I think I am up to speed again with the chat. Jonas asks, can you make a video where you go to the aviation megastore? I never thought about doing that. I guess in theory I could. Not sure if there's a big audience that would want to see it. And I'm also not sure if the aviation megastore is okay with me doing that. Turkish flight 1957 up next, and Alex says in 8 minutes Silkway 777 freighter from Baku. Is the 777 freighter still landing on Polderbaan? Probably not, since it is 5 to the hour already. Turkish up next. Behind it, Saudia flight 215 with Jeddah Knights in the new standard livery. That's the white with the colors. I like that livery. Heavy hitter 2 airplane glide slope shot.
I was wondering whether they would.
For those of you just joining us, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. These airplanes are approaching runway 18 right. For the last few moments, the only runway for arrivals. Pretty soon the center is expected to open up. Parallel arrivals then in progress. The A380 is expected. It's also expected to land on runway center. And Silkway, the 777 is also going to land on center. No worry, we can see it quite well from over here. This is Turkish Airlines flight 1957. A330-300 arriving from Istanbul. Now, how clean are the flaps of Turkish? Not as impeccable as those of KLM, but they are awfully close. Let's quickly turn back. Jeddah Knights are approaching Saudia flight 215. Next to land. Saudia flight 215, 787-10 Dreamliner arrival from Jeddah. 5 hours and 17 minutes underway. 787-10 Dreamliner, the airplane is 3 years old and had its first flight in November 2020. The 777 freighter from Silkway arriving from Baku is flying base just northwest of Purmerend. Another airplane to Polderbaan has just or is just turning in from the left in the background somewhere. Not sure if we can see it. It is an Embraer 175 arriving from Milan. Ah yeah, there we can see it. It's on the same level as the Dreamliner, but further to the left. Very small. Separation necessary because this big jet is producing some wake turbulence in its wake. Bob is back, moving to Lurker's Lounge. Sit back and relax, Bob. And Gijs, hello. Welcome. Nice landing. Yes. Spool them up. Come on. No. Not as loud as I had hoped it would be. Nice livery indeed. Absolutely. I think it looks way better than the previous one did. Right, it's 1 minute to 1 and the first airplane to the center is approaching. TUI Max 8 arriving from Zakynthos. Hadi Peter, goedemiddag. First airplane to center is approaching. Parallel arrivals now in progress from 1 to 2 o'clock local time. You will find the local time in your bottom left corner, the bottom left corner of your screen, I should say. TUI flight 1232, the first airplane to the center runway. Max 8 arriving from Zakynthos in Greece. 2 hours and 39 minutes underway. 2-year-old airplane, first flight December 2021. We have an Embraer 175 coming to Polderban, arriving from Milan, KLM flight 1626. Max 8 is still far away, that's why this looks pixelated. I'm using digital zoom in addition to optical zoom to show a bit more detail. Behind this airplane is the Silkway 777 freighter arriving from Baku. Before going over to that, let's have a quick look at the landing over at Polderban of the Embraer 175 arriving from Milan. This is KLM flight 1626. Arriving from Milan, 1 hour and 27 minutes on the way, the PH EXN, 7 years old, first flight May 2017. Marissa says Tui is the name of our dog. You named your dog Tui. Tui, come over here. That is cute indeed. I agree with Gijs. Tui. What does it actually stand for? Is it an abbreviation of sorts? I'm realizing now that I don't know if it is an abbreviation, and if so, what it stands for. Well, from the small to the big, let's transition over to the 777 freighter that is now approaching the center runway. Damn. Ah, Touristic Union International. Thank you, Alex. Silkway West, flight 207 arriving from Baku. 4 hours and 36 minutes. This airplane is now underway. It is a 777 freighter. The VP BMU. Brand new airplane, first flight October 2023. So, also celebrating its first birthday this month. Happy birthday to you. Next come this way to Polderban, is Ryanair. Now Ryanair, even though they fly a dime and a dozen 737s, those pilots often apply the reversers on landing. 737s, when using their reversers, will get loud, so not going to guarantee anything, but let's look and listen. I also thought I saw something big and white turning in the background to center. Ryanair almost never disappoints. Small jet, big sound, courtesy of Ryanair. Thank you so much, guys. What? Say what? Not hearing you. You have to speak up, Jurk. Dirkie, goeiedag. Abel, goedemiddag. Good day. Welcome one and all. Now, Emirates A380. It is approaching. It is approaching the center runway. That's not unexpected. And we can see it quite well from over here. It looks a bit pixelated right now, but that is because it is still far away and I'm zooming in with digital zoom in addition to my optical zoom. It is now number 8 on Flight Radar, tracked by 292 people. Rookie numbers. We have more viewers in our stream. Can we make it top 5 or top 3? This is Emirates Flight 147. It has the standard livery, still the current standard livery. Our members already have access to the newest iteration of the standard livery with the ribbon tail. Gear hatches are opening, the gear is extending. Nice. In the meantime, TAP Air Portugal has landed over here. Flight time for the A380 thus far, 6 hours and 40 minutes. That's a bit longer than normal. Normally speaking, the A380 would average around 6.5 hours at this stage. 10 minutes on 6 hours. That's still within the normal range. Interestingly, looking at the scale of chimney smoke, it seems that the wind is calming down a little bit, with more verticality in the chimney smoke than earlier. This particular A380 is 14 years old, had its first flight in January 2010. H-Man says, hope it does a go around. Well, you never know for sure, fingers crossed. Last year, a year ago, at Kaagbaan, even though it was landing on Aalsmeerbaan, we did see it make a go around, unexpectedly. What? No, it's the A380. Stuart Little, good afternoon. Paul Fairclough, good afternoon. Petrikov, good afternoon. All others who've joined, good afternoon. Emirates A380 landing on the center. Not unexpectedly. Luckily for us, with parallel arrivals and weather like today, visibility is perfect. We'll probably even be able to hear the reversers being applied quite well because the wind is blowing from the southeast, so it is actually the sound from the engines are actually being blown away towards us. Center runway also, the threshold lies further to the south, so we should be perfectly situated to hear the engines reversing once it has landed. And obviously these side shots, these profile shots, we cannot see if it was to land on Polderbaan. That's the silver lining, I guess, of it not landing here. Alrighty. We can establish that the A380 did not go around and has landed safely on the center runway. Looking at flight radar, I am not seeing any big birds in the immediate vicinity. I am going to wrap it up for today, folks. I have to go back home and put on my nursing costume. So I'm going to say a big thank you to all of you for joining me here. A particular big thank you to Jörg and to Maria for joining me here as ground crew today. Also, if you want to say goodbye to the people at home? Of course. Goodbye from the ground crew as well.
See you next time.
See you next time. Now, folks, I am going to wrap it up. A big thank you to all of you for showing up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream as much as I have. If you liked what you saw and you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to more people like you who also like streams like these. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams in the future. Weather is good tomorrow, so probably I will be out here again for more arrivals at Polderbaan if the wind is going to stay the same. Thank you all so much for your support, for the super stickers, the super chats, the gifted memberships, for becoming a member yourself, for the merch store purchases and PayPal donations. You guys are what makes this channel great, and this channel is nothing without you guys. Hope to see you all during the next one. Finally, a massive big thank you to the moderators for keeping the stream friendly and accessible to all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the sun if there is some sun where you are at. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.